Hello my dear students. So in today's chemistry class we are going to continue the chapter electrochemistry. So we have studied what is electrochemistry and the electrode potential, oxidation potential, reduction potential, is it not? So for each metal I told you that there is a reduction potential or oxidation potential. So conventionally reduction potentials are considered, and based on their reduction potentials your electrochemical series is designed. Hope you remember that. So the one in the electrochemical series table, the one at the top of the table has a good reduction potential. That means it is a good oxidizing agent. It can undergo reduction. If a species can undergo reduction very nicely, means what? It can act as a good oxidizing agent. Is it not? Oxidation means what? You have to recollect each and everything. Like what is oxidation? Loss of electron is oxidation and gain of electron is reduction. Is it not? So if it has to gain one electron, if it is undergoing reduction easily, it has to gain some electron. So from where it is gaining the electron? From the counterpart, from the counter species. So by accepting the electron from them, it is actually oxidizing the counter species. Is it not? So if you observe the electrochemical series table, you can see positive values for the elements at the top, meaning it is undergoing reduction easily and it is a good oxidizing agent. And the one at the bottom of the table, what happens? It is actually undergoing reduction. It is not undergoing reduction easily, and it is undergoing oxidation easily. It is not having a good reduction potential, but it has a good oxidation potential, meaning it is a good reducing agent. Okay, now I say, okay, each metal has the reduction potential. I say it has an oxidation potential. So how do we know that? For creating that electrochemical series table, from where we got those values? Okay, the potential of an individual thing cannot be measured. The potential of an individual metal cannot be measured. For example, you are a good student. Okay, you are I'm giving you a test. You are scoring 70% marks, and we have to compare. Okay, we have to compare you with the other students. Say if all other students are getting only 60 and 65 and you are the only student who is getting 70, then we can say you are a good student. You have scored well. You are topping the class. But if you alone are if you are alone writing that exam and you are scoring 70%, we cannot say you have scored well or not. We cannot say. Okay. Similarly, we need a reference. Maybe sometimes the question may be very tough, we get only 70 marks, and we are comparing it with the other students as a reference, and your score is good. Sometimes you are getting 70 and other students are capable of getting 90 and above, meaning what? You are getting less marks, only 9. So that paper is such that we can score even 90 plus. So relatively we have to say. Similarly, this hydrogen electrode we are going to use as a reference electrode. So with respect to hydrogen electrode, how the other metal behaves. We are going to connect the metal. So you have to recollect that Daniell cell. In Daniell cell you had 2 electrodes, right? One is zinc and the other one is copper. Similarly, here your hydrogen is going to act as a reference electrode to which you are connecting the other metal. Now coming to this hydrogen electrode, what are the things it contains? It contains, actually you can see a wire here, is it not? This wire is a platinum wire. It's a platinum, or even gold is used as an electrode. Platinum or gold wire connected to a platinum, a small piece of square platinum chip. And it is placed in a glass tube, and the whole setup is placed in 1 molar HCl solution, acidic solution, and hydrogen gas is always bubbled through it. Okay, this why we are using this hydrogen electrode. For hydrogen electrode we are using platinum or gold is that they are actually inert electrodes. They are not going to take part in the reaction like your zinc and copper. So when I say zinc, zinc dissolves and copper accepts the electrons. That itself is taking part in the reaction in the Daniell cell. But this reference electrode, hydrogen electrode, this platinum is being inert. Platinum being inert, it will not take part in the reaction, but it will provide only the surface, okay, for oxidation and reduction reactions to take place. So what happens when I bubble the hydrogen gas? Anything can happen. Like oxidation also can happen, reduction also can happen. So the potential, the total, and you see the standard conditions are 1 molar concentration HCl solution and a temperature of 298 Kelvin, normal room temperature, and the pressure is also normal pressure we are maintaining. All the conditions are standard and the potential is also 0. The potential for this cell is actually 0. Now if I connect copper to this electrode, what happens? Copper will actually accept the electrons. Rather than donating the electrons, copper will accept the electrons from the this hydrogen reaction. So copper acts as a copper has a good reduction potential. Since it accepts the electrons, it has good reduction potential. So you will get a positive value. Now if you connect zinc to the same hydrogen electrode, zinc will act as a electron donating species. That means zinc will donate electrons, or it undergoes oxidation easily with respect to the hydrogen electrode. See, hydrogen electrode is one. With copper it is acting as an anode by lending the electrons. With zinc it is acting as a cathode by accepting the electrons. So two type of reactions are possible here. See, here I have shown you the H plus electron. That means what? It is accepting the electron from the counter species. And you see the reverse reaction. Hydrogen gas getting converted into H plus and E electrons. H plus and electrons. This reverse also can take place. Both reaction takes place at the same level. And how the metal that is connected to the hydrogen electrode behaves, that is very important. So if it undergoes, if you get a positive value, then you can consider the metal has a good reduction potential. If you are getting a less positive value, you can consider the metal will act as a good anode. It will act as an anode, or it can undergo oxidation easily. Got it? This is what is called as reference electrode. I'll show a short video, so it is very interesting and you can understand still more clearly. So here is your video. Standard hydrogen electrode or normal hydrogen electrode. We say NHE or SHE. Okay, She means standard hydrogen electrode.
The SHE consists of platinum wire that is connected to a PT surface in contact with an aqueous solution containing 1 mH plus in equilibrium with H2 gas at a pressure of 1 atmosphere. Let's take a look and see what happens at the standard hydrogen electrode. In this hydrogen electrode, hydrogen gas is bubbled around a platinum electrode. In the molecular view, the PT surface catalyzes the oxidation of hydrogen molecules to protons or the reduction of protons to hydrogen gas. At the electrode, hydrogen gas can either be oxidized to form hydrogen ions, or hydrogen ions can be reduced to form hydrogen gas.
So I told you, no? See, two reactions are possible. Hydrogen gas that you're bubbling in can become H plus and electrons. So when this will happen, it is losing the electron. Means it is undergoing oxidation. With copper, this is prevalent. Okay. H plus plus 2 electrons gives hydrogen. When this will happen? When you connect zinc. Okay, when you connect when you connect zinc, this will happen. It will take up the electrons and it will undergo reduction. Okay, with the copper it acts as a anode. With zinc, hydrogen electrode acts as a cathode. So zinc is now anode, so hydrogen electrode is cathode. So this is how it is happening.
Hence, two reactions are possible at the electrode. Oxidation. H2 gives 2H plus 2E minus. Reduction. 2H plus 2E minus gives H2. This reaction is assigned a standard electrode potential E of 0.00 volt and serves as reference. As you remember, two half cells complete a voltaic cell. Let's take a close look. Here on the left, we have zinc half cell, and on the right, we have standard hydrogen electrode. The electrons are moving from zinc electrode to hydrogen electrode. So, zinc is being oxidized. The voltmeter shows that the standard cell potential of a galvanic cell consists of a SH and a Zn by Zn2 plus couple is E cell is equal to 0.76 volt. Because the zinc electrode in this cell dissolves spontaneously to form Zn2 plus aqueous ions, while H plus aqueous ions are reduced to H2 at the platinum surface. The standard electrode potential of Zn2 plus by Zn couple is minus 0.76 volt.
Okay, so why we are getting the potential? It is showing the potential of 0.76. But in the last step what he told, the potential of the zinc electrode is minus 0.76. Why we are getting that? As I already told you, the potential of hydrogen electrode is 0. Okay, how to find out the potential of a cell? E cell, cell potential. What is the total cell? The total cell consists of anode and cathode. What is the total potential of this cell? E cathode minus E anode. Okay, always in the right, ER. There are two formulas, both are the same. E cell, this is E naught cell, okay. That is cell potential of a standard electrode. Cell potential of a standard electrode, that is E naught cell, is equal to E cathode minus E anode, or E right minus E left. In the right always cathode is placed. In the left always anode is placed. Is it not? Okay, now tell me, what is the potential of hydrogen electrode? 0. And what is the potential of zinc is shown here? 0.76. So, E cathode minus E anode. E cathode, what is E cathode? 0. 0 minus 0.76. So what is the value? Minus 0.76. That is why the standard potential of this cell, E cell, E naught cell. If I say standard, it is E naught. E naught cell is equal to minus 0.76. So see, this is cell potential. What is cell potential? The potential difference. We always come across this term. The potential difference, the potential difference. Is it not? What is the potential difference? We have two electrodes in a galvanic cell, and what is the difference between them? E right minus E left. You see the last line. E right means what? Cathode. Potential of the cathode minus potential of the anode. Here, if you are using zinc, okay, 0 minus 0.76. So what is the potential? What is the standard potential here? E cathode minus E anode, that is minus 0.76. Since I am getting this minus value, it is acting as a, it is having a good, it is having a less reduction potential or good oxidation potential. Okay, see, E cell is equal to, what is E cell? Standard potential. What is the standard potential? ER minus E left, or E cathode minus E left. Both are same. So for hydrogen electrode it is 0, is it not? So when there is a platinum electrode, see, platinum bar hydrogen, this one I have given one slash H plus is connected with copper 2 plus copper. So with copper we are getting 0.34. When I connect with copper I will get 0.34. So what is my E cell? What is my cell potential? ER minus 0. See, cathode is now acting as a copper is now acting as a cathode. Okay, copper is acting as a cathode. So 0.34 minus 0 will give you 0.34. So the potential of the total cell will be positive when hydrogen electrode is connected to copper. Got it? Similarly, what is the, when zinc is connected to platinum, what is the value? 0 minus E left, or 0 minus 0.76, that is minus 0.76. Got it? So when you connect it with copper, you will get 0.34 because copper is acting as a cathode here. 0.34 minus 0. 0 means what? Potential of the hydrogen electrode. So this is how usually a cell is represented. You see, platinum bar, bar means this bar, okay, hydrogen, then H plus. So we are using platinum electrode, hydrogen gas placed in aqueous H plus, means what? This HCl solution, no? So that is why we are writing H plus, aqueous. In brackets it is written aqueous and 1 molar. If I put 2 slash here like this one cell is complete. One side of the cell is complete now. What is the other side of the cell? Cu2 plus copper. Copper placed in copper sulfate solution. Okay, so to represent a cell in symbols, this is how they used to write. So this 2 slash means you can think it as a salt bridge. Okay, you have a salt bridge in between platinum and copper. So platinum and zinc means different case. Got it? So why you need a reference electrode? Now you understood. Okay, now see, with hydrogen we have seen zinc and copper, with hydrogen we have seen. So we got the standard potentials, and that potentials were listed in the electrochemical series. Okay, that is a table I have already shown you in the previous class. I will also show you the table here. So this is electrochemical series. See, all fluorine, gold, chlorine. So how we got all these values? By connecting fluorine to a hydrogen electrode. When I connected fluorine to a hydrogen electrode, I got a positive value. Meaning what? It has a good reduction potential. And you see the last one, potassium. When I connected potassium to the hydrogen electrode, what I got? Minus 2.93 I got as a value, total value. So how did I get this? E cathode minus E anode. Okay. So when I get negative value means what does it mean? It has less reduction potential or good oxidation potential. And is it a reducing agent or oxidizing agent? If it has a good reduction potential, it is a good oxidizing agent. If it has a less reduction potential, it's a good oxidizing agent. I mean reducing agent, I'm sorry. Ulta, you have to think ulta. Okay, again. Now, if I connect zinc and copper together, so can you tell me where zinc and copper electrodes were connected? And do you remember? Yes, it is Daniell cell. Is it not? In Daniell cell, zinc and copper were used. Okay, so when you use both of them, what is the potential of zinc? Generally, left electrode. Why I say left electrode is zinc? Anode is always placed in the left hand side. What is the right electrode? Copper. Copper is a cathode. Cathode is always placed in the right side. Now what is the anodic reaction? Left electrode is anode. What is the anodic reaction? Anode always undergo oxidation. What is oxidation? Loss of electron is oxidation. Leo. Loss of electron is oxidation. So zinc becoming zinc 2 plus 2 electrons. Okay. Now what is the right hand side electrode? Copper electrode. What it is? It is a cathode. Cathode means what? It undergoes reduction. Car. You have to remember this. CAR, okay, CAR. CAR means what? Cathode reduction. So this is cathode, it always undergo reduction. This is anode, anode always undergo oxidation. Okay, so when you connect zinc and copper, what is your E cell? What is the potential of the cell? For cathode, you know what is the potential of copper? 0.34, is it not? Minus, and what is the potential of zinc? We have already seen, we have measured it with the hydrogen reference electrode or hydrogen electrode. It is minus 0.76. So 0.34 minus of minus 0.76 is equal to 1.10 volt. Got it? So what is the potential of the Daniell cell? 1.10. Okay, now representation of a galvanic cell. I told you now how to represent a galvanic cell. So what I told you, cathode is always placed in the right hand side and anode is always placed in the left hand side. See, copper is acting as an anode with silver because silver is more nobler than copper, is it not? So when you connect zinc to copper, copper will act as a cathode. It will undergo reduction. But when copper is connected to silver, silver is going to act as cathode and copper is going to act as anode. Okay, so it is written like this: copper solid. Solid copper is placed in copper sulfate solution. Always in solution only you can find out the ions Cu2 plus. When I said Cu2 plus, it is in the aqueous solution. So copper solid is placed in copper 2 plus aqueous and separated by a salt bridge 2/, and the other side, what is the cathode? Silver. Silver solution in silver solid is placed in silver aqueous solution. So this is how a cell has to be represented. So got it? So from this, if you can also write from the reaction. If I give you a reaction, you can write down the cell symbolic form of representing a galvanic cell. So this is your electrochemical series. Now you are aware of. Okay. Next, coming to the very important question, very important part of this electrochemistry, Nernst equation. So why do we need Nernst equation? Because here we were measuring the standard potential. Like if you know which is cathode and which is anode, you can measure the standard potential. What is that? E naught cell. Usually that, I told you E cell na. So usually we have to write that as E naught. Okay, this is E naught. If I put E naught, what does it mean? Standard potential. So how to measure the E naught cell? E naught cell is equal to E cathode minus E anode. Very, very important formula. Okay, E naught cell is equal to E cathode minus E anode. Okay, then why do we need another equation called as Nernst equation? Because there we considered all the electrons were considered to be unity. With respect to standard hydrogen electrode we are measuring, and we are measuring the potential under standard conditions. Standard conditions means what? Only one electron transfer we are considering. But always one electron transfer will not take place, is it not? More than one electron transfer also possible. For example, if you take aluminium, aluminium can give 3 electrons. So not one electron, it can give 3 electrons, and the counter species has to take the 3 electrons. So that reaction is involving more than one electron. That is one thing. So Nernst gave us a even more precise equation to calculate the potential of a cell. What is that? What is that? See this? Where is it? Yeah, this one. So you can see this one. This is the Nernst equation. What is Nernst equation? Says E Mn plus bar M means what? Reduction potential. Mn plus becoming M. Mn plus becoming M means what? a reduction potential. What is the reduction potential of a cell? That is, what is E cell? What is the potential of a cell? Potential of a cell is equal to E naught cell. How to measure the E naught cell? E cathode minus E anode. That is standard potential, is it not? So E cell is equal to E naught cell minus R into T by N into F ln 1 by M plus or Mn plus. Okay, for any reaction, this is a precise equation to calculate the cell potential. If you are having cathode and anode, you are going to use this Nernst equation. For standard conditions means you will get E naught cell. Okay, for under normal conditions, like not the temperature is not 298 Kelvin and the number of electrons involved is more, like that. For that, Nernst equation will be more precise. Again, I am going to consider the this reaction. Okay, let us consider the Daniell cell. Some mistake here. It's not Daniell cell, it's Daniell cell. Okay, Daniell, D-A-N-I-E-L. Okay, so okay, this is D-A-N-I-E-L. Got it? Yeah. Okay, now let us consider this reaction. Now tell me which is, sorry, yeah, zinc plus copper 2 plus gives zinc 2 plus plus copper. This is the reaction given to you. Now tell me, zinc is becoming zinc 2 plus. Means what? It undergoes oxidation. Very good. Copper 2 plus becoming Cu. Means what? It is undergoing reduction. Okay. After this, you see, this you have to come here. So zinc becomes zinc 2 plus plus 2 electron. Copper 2 plus takes up the 2 electron, gives copper. So two electrons are involving in the reaction. So no, both equations are balanced. Now when I add this, what I get? Zinc plus copper plus 2 electron gives zinc 2 plus plus copper plus 2 electron. So in the left hand side also 2 electron, right hand side also 2 electron. So I can cut it. Is it not? So we get this complete cell. Okay. Now coming to the electrode potential of cathode. Now we are going to calculate individually. Okay. According to Nernst equation, we have to calculate the individual potentials and find out the final potential of a cell. So what is E copper 2 plus becoming copper? What is that? E naught minus R into T. R means what? That same thing. Universal gas constant 8.314 joule. Then temperature 298 Kelvin divided by 2. Why I put 2 here? Because N. N means what? How many electrons are involved? How many electrons are involved here? 2 electrons. Not 2 plus 2. Totally 2 electrons are involved. Zinc is giving 2 electron and that 2 electron is taken up by the copper. So 2 into F ln 1 by copper 2 plus. Okay. 1 by, what is Mn plus here? Copper. We are writing for copper. Similarly, I have to write for zinc. Okay, zinc E naught minus RT by 2F into ln 1 by zinc. Now what is E cell? What is the E cell? E right minus E left. What is E right? E cathode. What is cathode here? Copper. So for this E right, I am going to substitute this value. E naught copper minus RT by 2F into ln 1 by copper minus E naught minus RT by 2F ln 1 by zinc. So what are all are constant values, is it not? So what I will get finally when I do this? Same thing only will come. E naught minus RT by 2F into ln 1 by copper 2 plus minus 1 by zinc 2 plus. Is it not? I am going to just subtract this. So what is the final equation I will get? E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.059 by 2. Why I got 0.059? When I substitute all the values, R is equal to 8.314. What is temperature? 298 Kelvin. What is Faraday? 96,500 coulombs. Okay. R is 8.314 joule per Kelvin. What is temperature? 298 Kelvin. Then what is Faraday? 96,500. So when I substitute all the values, so when I substitute all these values, all the constant values, what number I will get? I will get 0.0591 by 2. This 2 only is going to change according to the reaction. This 2 is nothing but N. N is number of electrons involved. So in this particular reaction, 2 electrons are involved. So I am writing it as 2. So no need of remembering all these things. You finally, at least if you remember, okay, you have to remember at least this formula. E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.059 by 2 into log of zinc 2 plus by copper 2 plus. How I got this? When I subtracted these two equations. Okay, ln 1 by copper 2 plus minus ln 1 by zinc 2 plus. So the zinc came up. Okay, when I subtracted these two equations according to this formula, I got this as the final formula. So what is that? So when you solve the problems, what you can do? E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.591 by N log anode potential, anode concentration by cathode concentration. You can use that formula. So what you can write? Anode concentration, anode by cathode. You can write like this. If you know which is acting as anode and which is acting as cathode, you simply can write this. So what is the formula? Nernst equation formula. If a question comes to you to calculate the potential of a cell, you must know the E naught cell minus, what is E naught cell? E cathode minus E anode. Sometimes they give you directly, or sometimes they will give you E naught of cathode and E naught of anode. So you have to find out E naught cell first minus 0.059 by 91 by number of electrons involved. To find the number of electrons involved, you must be able to write this equation. Okay, you must be able to write the equation into log of concentration of anode by concentration of cathode. So very, very important formula. Don't forget this. Write 10 times, 20 times also to remember this formula, Nernst equation formula. Okay, so one problem. Shall we do one problem? Represent the cell in which the following reaction take place. So magnesium plus silver gives Mg2 plus 2 silver. Okay, how to represent the cell? So they have given, calculate its E cell. They are asking us to find out the E cell if E naught cell is 3.17. So what formula, what equation you are going to use? You are going to use the Nernst equation. What is Nernst equation? E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.059 by number of electrons involved into ln. Okay, this ln also they are converting. Ln can be converted into log. Natural logarithm can be converted into log to the base 10. How? By multiplying with 2.303. So here this, how we got this value? R into T by F into 2.303 also. That is why we got 0.0591 log. Okay, so you can directly use that value. So what is E naught cell given here? 3.17 minus 0.059 by 2. Number of electrons involved is 2 here. How I know it is 2? I have to write, see, magnesium becomes magnesium 2 plus, meaning 2 electrons it is losing. But silver is actually only 1 plus. Silver is having only plus, is it not? So 2 silver I am taking. For 1 silver I need 1 electron. Since I am having 2 electrons here, I need 2 silver plus. You see the cation value. If it is 2 plus means it loses 2 electrons. If it is plus means it needs only 1 electron to become silver. So I have 2 electrons in hand now. So 2 silver plus I need to get 2 silver. So totally how many electrons are involved? 2 into log of concentration of anode. Who is anode here? Magnesium is anode here, is it not? Magnesium is undergoing oxidation, so that is anode. and this is cathode, anodic concentration by cathodic concentration. So how I found out anodic concentration? Magnesium is anode, I know. So you see in the brackets, what is the concentration given? 0.130. So I have placed it 0.130 divided by, what is cathode? Silver. What is the concentration of silver? 10 power minus 4, is it not? Or I can write 0.0001 m. And you have to see the concentration also, moles, number of moles you have to check. 2 moles of silver I need, so I have to square the concentration. Very very important, you should not forget. But magnesium I have only 1 mole. Any number written before magnesium? No, only 1. So I am writing the concentration as such. But for silver it is 2 moles of silver, so I am squaring that moles, number of moles. Got it? This is 0.130 power 1 by 0.0001 power 2. So each and every step we have to write carefully, but very simple problem. Easily you can score. Only thing is you have to remember this formula, and you must know which is anode and which is cathode. All information are given in the problem itself. Simply substitute all the information, and finally you got the cell potential to be 2.96. So very very important. Every year one problem based on this, sure problem from electrochemistry, same thing. Got it? Very very important. So don't take it light. You have to work out with a paper and a pen. So what is E cell? E cell is equal to E naught cell minus RT by 2F. So no need of doing all the calculations every time. You no need to substitute 8.314,298. This final value remember, 0.059 by number of electrons into log anodic concentration by cathodic concentration, and don't forget to put the number of moles in the superscript. Squaring or cubing or quadrupling, something you have to do based on the value given here. Okay. Now you are clear with the Nernst equation, is it not? Now we are going to find out one more thing, equilibrium constant from the Nernst equation, how they are interrelated. Now you know, again I am telling you the Nernst equation. E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 2.303 RT by 2F or NF into log anode by cathode. So when I substitute all the value, I get 0.059 by number of electrons. Here the number of electrons involved is 2, because we are considering the Daniell cell, zinc and copper. Now if the reaction is at equilibrium, okay, do you remember the first slide I taught you in the session 1? First slide I told you, when an external potential of 1.1 volt is given to the Daniell cell, no more reaction will occur. That means what? The system is now at equilibrium. Okay, when the system is in equilibrium, there will not be any passage of electrons. No current will pass. No electron flow, so no current flow. Now the system is at equilibrium. So when the system is at equilibrium, what is the potential of the total cell? 0. Is it not? E cell becomes 0, not E naught cell. E cell becomes 0. The potential of the total cell is actually 0, not the standard potential. So in the Nernst equation, you are going to, when the condition is equilibrium, you are going to make E cell as 0. Okay, you are going to make E cell as 0. So 0 is equal to E naught cell minus 2.303, that blah blah blah. Okay, so what is E naught cell? E naught cell is equal to this 2.303 RT, that comes into the right hand side now, because E cell is 0. So this comes to the right hand side. Now it becomes positive. The total term becomes positive. Okay, so at equilibrium, the concentration of anode by concentration of cathode is equal to Kc. Okay, you are replacing this as equilibrium. We have studied about equilibrium constant in class 11. Is it not? What is that? Kc is equal to product concentration by reactant concentration. I told you no last time in the previous class 11, class 11. So this zinc by copper is nothing but our Kc, equilibrium constant. So what is E naught cell now? E naught cell is equal to 0.059 by 2 log Kc. So we can find out the Kc value now. Equilibrium constant we can find out from the Nernst equation. Okay, so we know the potential, standard potential of the Daniell cell is 1.1 volt. How I got this? Do you remember? 0.34 minus of minus 0.76. Zinc cathodic potential minus anodic potential. Cathodic potential is copper. Copper potential is 0.34 minus of minus 0.76. Anodic potential, zinc potential is minus 0.76. So when I subtracted that, I got 1.1 volt. Is it not? So that 1.1 volt I am going to put here as E naught cell. So log Kc is equal to 1.1 into 2. This 2 goes to the numerator and the 0.59 comes to the denominator. So what value I am getting? What is the log Kc value I am getting? 37.288. So when you get like this, what you can simply do is, you are getting actually logarithm Kc. That means a number you are getting to the base 10 you are getting. Got it? So don't worry about it. Even if you don't understand that, if you are getting some value like this, just see what is after the decimal. What number you have after the decimal? 2. So that 2 you write here into. What is the number before the decimal? 37. So 2 into 10 power 37. The number before the decimal you are going to write it as 10 power. Okay. Then the number after the decimal is going to come as the natural number. So 2 into 10 power 37. Got it? So Kc value you can find out from the Nernst equation. Equilibrium constant value and the equilibrium constant value can be found out from the Nernst equation like this. So when a problem comes, you have to use this idea. So two important things you need to understand here. What is that? This anodic concentration by cathodic concentration is nothing but Kc, and when this equilibrium constant comes into play only at equilibrium, when E cell is 0. Not E naught cell, E cell is 0. Got it? In the Nernst equation, when E cell is 0, E naught cell becomes equal to 2.303 by RT or 0.059 by N into log Kc. Very important question. What happens to E cell at equilibrium? The value of E cell at equilibrium is equal to, they will give 4 choices. They will give the complete Nernst equation. They will give this modified form. Okay, like that. You may get 4 options and you have to select the right option. So at equilibrium, don't forget potential of a cell is 0. Got it? Now calculate one example. Calculate the equilibrium constant of a reaction. So copper, they have given E naught cell, right? So you know E cell is 0. E cell is 0. So E naught cell is equal to 0.059 by 2. Number of electrons involved in this reaction is 2 into log Kc. Okay, into log Kc. So this E naught cell is actually 0.46. So log Kc is equal to 0.46 into 2 by 0.059. I got 15.6. Log Kc is equal to 15.6. Okay. So what I have to write? Into 10 power 15. And what is 0.6? Actually, see, here luckily this number, same number came here. Actually this 0.288 is the logarithm value for 2. Actually I should tell you like this. See, what is the 0.288? Actually for log 2. Log 2 is equal to, I cannot write. Log 2 is equal to 0.3010. Do you remember I told you? I cannot write. I don't understand. So what is log 2? Log 2 is equal to 0.3010. That is why I am writing this 0.288 as 2. It is approximately nearer to 0.3010. So I am writing it as 2. It will not be 2 exactly. It will be 1.8 something like that. Okay, the log value is actually 0.288, means that corresponds to the natural number 2. Approximately 2 or 1.8 something into 10 power 37. This number you can write as such into 10 power. But this you must know for what number this log value appears. Okay, so when I get 6, when I get this 0.6 something, that corresponds to some 4. It is not 3.92 exactly. What is the log value? What is the log value of 4? It is 0.6020. Okay, 6020. So they are writing exactly this 0.6 means that corresponds to what? 3.92. Or you can also write 4 here. Okay, because 0.6020 means that corresponds approximately to 4. So 4 into 10 power 15. Okay, that is how you can convert a logarithmic number into natural number. Logarithmic Kc value only I am getting. So to convert that into a natural Kc, the normal Kc that normal number that we are using, to convert that into that format, you must know what this value corresponds to. So you must remember some log values. Log 2 is 0.3010. What is log 3? 0.4771. What is log 4? 0.6020. What is log 5? Something like 699 something. So you have to remember certain values, so easily you can do this problem. Okay, and the last part, Gibbs energy, Gibbs free energy. So this Gibbs free energy delta G is equal to minus NFE. How Gibbs free energy and the potential of the cell are related? See, what the potential of the cell, that is like if you do an electrical work, if an electrical work is done in 1 second, it is equal to electrical potential. The electrical work, what is the electrical work done? How to measure the electrical work done? It is actually the cell potential. Okay, electrical work done in 1 second is equal to cell potential multiplied by the total charge passed. Total charge means what? Number of electrons into Faraday. That is your total charge. So that is actually nothing but electrical work. This electrical work is when that is equal to the free energy. How it is equal? The reversible work done by a galvanic cell is equal to decrease in Gibbs energy. They are related. Electrical work done is equal to decrease in Gibbs energy. That is why I am writing minus delta G is equal to NFE. NFE is the electrical work done, is equal to minus delta G, or delta G is equal to minus N into F into E. Got it? So once if you know the cell potential, you can find out the Gibbs free energy. What is Gibbs free energy? Delta G is equal to minus NFE E cell. So delta G for this Daniell cell, same Daniell cell I am considering. Delta G is equal to minus 2 into F into E. So if 4 electrons are involved, it is minus 4 into F into E. So into 96,500 into E cell. What is the measured E cell? It is 1.1 volt, is it not? 1.1. No, that is E naught cell is 1.1 volt. What is the total cell potential? We have to find it out using the Nernst equation. So that you can substitute here. Minus 2 into 96,500 into E cell. If you substitute, you will get delta G. So what is the idea here? When you get negative delta G, then it is a spontaneous reaction. Positive E naught means spontaneous. Either it can be positive E naught or negative delta G, spontaneous. If negative E naught and positive delta G, non-spontaneous. If both are 0, reaction is at equilibrium. So what do you understand here? E cell is also 0 at equilibrium. Delta G is also 0 at equilibrium. Okay. Then one more relation also we have. With equilibrium constant also we can say delta G is equal to minus RT ln K. So this is one more formula. which is related with equilibrium constant and delta G. So they have given a Daniell cell electrode potential. See, standard potential they have given, is it not? 1.1 volt. So that E naught cell only I am using here. So we minus delta G is equal to minus F into E naught. Standard potential only I am using. Here I got a doubt whether we are going to use the Nernst equation or not. No, this is actually a standard potential we are going to use. So delta G at standard condition is equal to minus N into F into E naught cell. So how many electrons are involved in this reaction? Minus 2 electrons into 1.1 volt. Faraday is 96,500, approximately 500, or exactly it is 487, 96,487 into potential of the Daniell cell is always 1.1 volt. So this much. Okay, we are getting in joule per mole. So in kilojoule it becomes 212.27. So if we are getting negative, it's a spontaneous reaction. This is also very important problem. Sometimes they ask you to calculate the E cell using Nernst equation. Sometimes this delta G problem. Very important, sure short problems every year. So calculate the equilibrium constant. I think you can do it now. Log Kc value you can find out like this. So you are getting, see, 15.6, same problem. 0.6 is actually a value for what? 4 into 10 power 15. That is the answer for this. Then one more thing, cell potential. How to find out the cell potential? E cathode minus E anode. So which is cathode here, which is anode here? Positive value is cathode always. So 0.34 minus of minus 2.37. So that means what? 0.34 plus 2.37. So you will get plus 2.71. This is the answer for cell potential. You have to work out and see. I am just rushing, but still you have to work out each and every problem to become like confident in this chapter. So even if we study in the class also, when I teach you on board also, many points I cannot say because we may be rushing, we may not be solving all the examples, but now we are fortunate enough. I'm showing you each and every problem and explaining you also. I'm taking my enough time and I'm explaining you each and every problem. So you have to work it out in your notebook, and if you come across, like if you have any doubts, you can also contact me. So this is actually very good to do all the problems, but your effort is very important here. Okay, so represent the cell in which the following reaction take place. Calculate E cell. So I hope you can do it now. Devise a cell in which the cell reaction takes place. So try all the problems. Okay. EMF also E cell only. If they ask you to calculate electromotive force, that means what? E cell you are going to calculate. E cell is equal to E naught minus 0.059 by into log of product concentration by reactant concentration. So what is product or anode? Anodic concentration by cathodic concentration. So 0.01. Okay, chromium 3 plus is 0.01. Number of moles 2. So I am putting square here. Okay, by this one 0.1. Number of moles 3 here. So 3. Total electrons involved is 6. See, 2 chromium gives chromium is becoming chromium 3 plus, meaning 3 electrons are lost, but 2 chromium is involved, so means what? 6 electrons are used. Then for iron, 3 iron, each iron needs 2 electrons, so 3 iron needs 6 electrons, so totally 6 electrons are involved here. Very, very important problem. This is also a repeated problem. Okay, again one more problem based on calculating the electromotive force. Got it? So please do all the problems. And here, what is the Gibbs free energy for this galvanic cell? Delta G is equal to minus N into F into E. Now you see, here 2 electrons are involved, here 3 electrons are involved. So you have to multiply this equation by 3 and this equation by 2. So totally 6 electrons are involved here. Minus 6 into F into E, E naught. What is E naught? Cathodic potential minus anodic potential. What is cathode here? This one. Okay, cathode is 2.87, minus of minus 1.66. So when you do that, you will get what is E naught. Then you can find out the delta G. Delta G is equal to minus 6 into Faraday into this. E naught cell. Okay, so same, very very important problem. Okay, so that's all for now. I think we need one more class for completing this chapter. I hope you're following me. Okay, I hope you're taking the notes properly, you're doing all the problems regularly. I can see only 36 or 37 views. When I post this in the YouTube, I can see only 37 views. Most of you are not following it. So please do follow this regularly, and we may have to write some test also, no? So only if you follow the class, take down the notes, you can do it. Okay, don't worry. We are going to rock this exam, this board exam. You're all going to rock, you're going to write well. Don't get afraid, just follow the notes and class regularly. Okay, bye bye for now, meet you in the next class.